Let me tell you why worse 3D artists earn more money than you. The truth is that they can be worse artists, but are smarter than you with certain skills. Let me explain. Most artists can't even negotiate or network. Some are even afraid to ask for more money. And if you are one of the people lying to yourself with words like, I don't need money, I just do it for the art, that's okay, ignore this video, this is not for you. The games industry is almost worth $370 billion. If somebody says he can't earn more than $2K or $3K per month, that person has no idea. Everything up to $70K per year is pretty easy. You just need to understand a few things. Let me show you. So let me show you why some people, even if you think they are worse artists based on the art side, can earn more money than you. So let's draw some stuff. That's you. That's him. The guy who earns more money, but his art looks like shit. You go here to your job and you work, and that makes you a happy little 3D artist. Perfect. But that guy goes to his job and then obviously works, but he maybe, beautiful drawing here, negotiates his salary once a year, twice a year. Or maybe he goes to his job, negotiates, and also looks on the side for better offers. The point is, you won't get free money, you need to do shit. And it's not really that complicated. Let me show you what most of the people ignore. And if you follow these steps, not in a specific order, but just do it and see what happens, most of the time you can get more money. If you want more money, look at this. So a lot of people ignore basic human communication, even if it's on LinkedIn. People are not smart enough to network, and networking can save you ass, and it can get you a lot of job offers. If you build a network with people working in the same field and with companies outside of, like, everybody is looking at these big companies, but nobody really is looking at indie companies. So outside of Activision, EA, stuff like that. If you look more into the indie market and smaller studios, there are a lot of jobs. And a lot of the time, even these small studios have a lot of budget. Most of the time, they pay way better than like a Ubisoft or Activision. And networking is important because you can build relationships. I had a situation where somebody on LinkedIn wrote me a message, and he was looking for a new job because the company he was working for was bankrupt, I think, or was bought out at some point, something like this. Fact is, he didn't have a job anymore. I knew a company or a recruiter who was looking for hard surface artists. So I sent him the details. He contacted the recruiter, speaking as hard, and he got the job within, I think, 48 hours or so. And that's why it's smart to go on LinkedIn, build your own little network of 3D artists, and just be connected with the industry you're working in. It's so delusional to just be connected on work. And so if you go to a job in the studio, let's say like this, or if you're freelancing and you are only connected with the people on Slack and that's it, that is not smart. Just be connected with people on LinkedIn, on Discord, wherever you want. Just be in the loop. Look out for new workflows. You need to know what's happening in the industry you're working in. The game industry is switching so fast, and you need to be up to date if you want to work there long term. So get started with networking. Go on YouTube, watch a LinkedIn tutorial, I don't know, but make this happen. That is really important. Also important is market understanding. You need to know what the market is looking for. Where's the journey going to? So what is next on the list? In 2016, everybody was into VR. Today, nobody gives a shit about it. or not like this, but in 2016 there was the hype because the HTC Vive was released, the Oculus thing was released, and everybody was developing VR games. And when stuff like this is happening, you need to look at your skills. Can you use your skill to be useful for the market? So if you are a hard surface artist in 2016, you could be really useful for a VR shooter because you just need to add more geometry to your models and model out the details which are normally baked into the normal map. So you have a huge value for a market if there is a market for VR shooters. I mean, in 2016 and 17, yes, there were a lot of them. Today, not so much anymore. But the same with like in 2021, 2022, NFTs. Can you model 3D art for NFT projects? If yes, well, you just landed yourself a high-paying job if you find the right client. So just see what the market is doing. Analyze if your skills can be transferred over to something. You don't need to stay there. You can do that for a few months and then look again. You need to be involved in the market. You need to evolve. You need to adapt. And also be open for new stuff. I know so many people who basically didn't land a job because of that. So if a recruiter is asking you, well, we do it like this, and this, like a specific workflow, can you do that? And your answer is, no, I do it like this, and this for 10 years. Well, congratulations, you don't get the job. Because studios, and even if they are small, like I said, we don't talk about like EA level here. They also have workflows they follow. This also goes for small studios like, 200, 300 people. Be open for new stuff. Studios and clients are looking for people who are open to adapt to workflows these studios are using. If you are a closed down person and say, well, no, I only do it like I want to do, you will have a hard time finding a job because the studio isn't really building the pipeline around you. You need to adapt to the pipelines they have. So be open for new stuff. Look at different pipelines. Try something else. And like I said, analyze trends. Yeah, makes sense. This is such a fast industry. You need to look into trends, even if they go away after a few months. But just be aware of what's happening around you. And a really big one, be a niche expert. Specialized skills, high demand areas. So high demand areas goes basically hand in hand with analyzed trends, because a trend can be long term and then you have a high demand area. If I talk to people on one-on-one meetings, specialize when you begin. If you are new, if you are really fresh, if you think right now, well, I want to work in the games industry, that's fine. It's great. It's cool. It's fancy. It can be super annoying and hard, but start out and specialize right now. The first thing you need to do, nail down what you want to do. You don't need to do everything. Try everything out for a few weeks, see what you like best, and then specialize in this. If you're not specialized, and if you can do everything, but everything you do isn't really super good, it's medium, it's like, it's okay, it's not shit, you get paid like that. So you get like the okay money. If you want the good money, the money like, I don't need to live under a bridge and do my 3D art on a campfire, you need to specialize. Specialize could be whatever you feel like you can specialize in. For me, it was photogrammetry and foliage. Nobody wants to do foliage because it's fucking annoying and hard. With Megascans, we have a lot of stuff we can do with scanned atlases, but there is way more foliage out in this world than Quixel and Epic Games have on their servers. So you still need to do a lot of that stuff by hand in ZBrush, in Maya, in Blender, whatever. You need to build it by hand. And this can take forever. And if you have a limited triangle or texture budget, it's even harder because you can't just go over budget and say to the client, well, okay, it looks good, I'm done, have fun, I'm over budget, see what you can do with that. They won't hire you again if you do it like that. Same for photogrammetry. Everybody wants to have photogrammetry, nobody wants to pay it because the hardware is so expensive. So that's why they reach out to private people, companies like Quixel, to do it for the studio. Just specialize, see what you like, and then specialize in it. And stick with it. Don't get shiny object syndrome. So don't be like, after, 2 months, you want to learn something else. Stick with it for at least a year. See what happens. And with that, you get the really big money. Every industry needs experts. Like a skill I would like to learn, Houdini. Since 2016, 2017, Houdini is going up in the games industry. Every small studio is using it. If you can learn Houdini and sell that skill to a studio, you make the big bucks. Figure out what you like and then stick with it. And if you can, or if you're working in a studio at the moment and you don't really like it, go freelance. Quit and go freelance. I mean, make sure you have some backup money. But that's what I did in 2016. I just quit, moved back home and went freelance. And it was the best decision ever because you can pick the studio you want to work with or the client you want to work with. And if they annoy you and you can't work with them because you will have people you can't work with, they annoy you, you can just quit. You say, okay, look, it's not working out. Next month I'm out. Keep what I made for you, pay me the rest. Obviously, you should have contracts in place and insurance and all of that. But then you can just go your way and work for somebody else. And the market is big enough. You just need to look. I see so many people complaining on Twitter like there are no jobs for people starting out. Well, then just don't start out in a studio. Start out like the freelance way. If you want to work in a studio, that's fine. Build repetition. Build it this way, build it with freelancing. And after that, you can work in the studio, which I still would suggest. It would be smart to have worked in a studio to some degree, maybe a year, maybe 2, just to see how it is, because it's so different from working from your own home. It's an experience and it can be useful to have. Maybe you find out you like it way more. So I hope that all of that was useful. And if you are looking into getting into the games industry, working as a 3D artist, mainly environment and photogrammetry, make sure to click the first link in the description. And I see you guys in the next video. Have a beautiful day and bye-bye.